Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, My Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is New Makeup Monday. We've got lots of blush to talk about. Before we get started, a very special, very warm welcome to any of those that are new to my channel. I am so incredibly happy that you are here. If you enjoy the content, I do so hope that you will mash that thumbs up button. I hope that you will subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope that you will ring my bell, turn on your notifications, so that way, next time I upload a video, you can come right back here and we can hang out together again. Also, my makeup is already done. It looks fantabulous. Very much in love with it today. It's giving like retro vibes, and I'm totally here for it. We've got the big hair, we've got like the bright colors and the bold lips. I'm here for it. I did film a TikTok on today's eye look. If you're interested, I will make sure to put the tags for that, as well as all of my other socials, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff in the description box below. Guys, if you are not following me on all my other socials, you definitely should go do that. I post fun content every single day, and if you're following me everywhere, you don't have to worry about missing a single moment of it. Alright, my lovelies, with all of that out of the way, let's dig into the new makeup. Now, while I certainly have a ton of blushes to talk about in today's video, I do have a couple of other things to talk about first, then we'll dive into the blush swatches. Oh, so good. Before that though, I want to talk about this palette right here. So this is the Morphe x Meredith Duxbury palette. This is their collaboration that they did. If you don't know who Meredith Duxbury is, she is a TikToker. She is well known for a very particular, very specific type of makeup application. I'm not into it. It's not my thing. I think she as a person is stunning. Her makeup always looks flawless. She's gorgeous. However, I find her style of makeup application to be incredibly wasteful, and it messes with my heart just a little bit every time I watch her content, so I tend to stay away from it just a little bit. However, when I saw this palette, I was like, oh yes, I have to have it. So I made a very rare trip to the mall yesterday. I live in the very middle of the mountains. The nearest mall is like 2.5 hours away from me. So when I do go to the mall, it is few and far between, and it is an all-day adventure. Yesterday I went to Ulta and I went to Target, and I just absolutely had a blast. I went in hopes of picking up some of the new drugstore releases. I wanted to get the new CoverGirl foundation and the new L'Oreal under eye concealer. However, both of those things were sold out and they weren't available in my shades, so I was very sad about that. But this is my consolation prize. Y'all, this is such a beautiful, beautiful palette. It is what I am wearing on my eyes today. She is a stunner. Love it. The color story is so pretty. This is what she looks like. You do get a nice little mirror in here as well, but the color story is really where it's at. Super pretty. Lots of really gorgeous, bright, bold, fun colors, but then you've also got plenty of neutrals in here as well, so it's very versatile. This palette is going to work for just about anybody. I think it's the pretty standard Morphe formulation. However, I find that I'm not a big fan of the shimmers in this palette at all. I find them to be a little bit lackluster, honestly. When it comes to my shimmer shades, I really want them to pack a punch. I want them to go on the eye, and I want them to sparkle and shine and be reflective and have lots of pigment, things like that, right? I really like a very metallic, bold kind of finish when it comes to my shimmers. And these, to me, are more kind of like sheer topper shades, and I'm not sure if that's the way she wanted them to be, but there's just not a lot of like punch to them, which makes me kind of sad. However, there are plenty of mattes in here, and you guys know how I feel about matte eyeshadows. I like to build with mattes and then accentuate with shimmers, and the mattes in here are stunning. Really easy to work with. So I'm really not mad about it at all. Now at full price, this palette goes for about $34. I was able to pick it up on sale at around $27, so I saved a few dollars. I do think it's a beautiful palette. I'm going to recommend it to you. However, I would wait just a little bit because this palette is undeniably going to go on sale at some point in the near future for a much lower price point. And while it's a beautiful palette, you can definitely wait for it to go on sale. Save yourself those couple of extra dollars. But y'all, I wanted to swatch some of the mattes in here just because they are so beautiful. Morphe mattes have been known to be a little bit dry. They can be a little bit chalky, a little bit powdery. However, these ones feel so nice. They feel silky and smooth. They're not powdery. They're not chalky at all. They just go on. They don't swatch the best, but they do apply beautifully on the eyes, guys. I didn't have any patching. I didn't have any lifting. Had no troubles at all working with this palette. Again, I just adore the color story. I think it's so fun. Yeah, this is a winner. Love it all day. Very glad to have it, and definitely would repurchase. So I'm going to recommend it to you. Wait for it to go on sale, but then run out and pick it up. A fun little addition to the palette, though, is they give us this little sheet, and apparently it's got 3 of her very favorite eye looks done using all the shades in the palette, and then on top of that, she has a suggestion for using some of the shades as blush, things like that. I think little additions to palettes like this are so fun, especially if you're new to makeup or if you have trouble digesting big color stories like this. This gives you somewhere to start. It gives you a way to break into the eyeshadow palette and really kind of discover and enjoy the color story without having to think too much. It stops it from being quite so overwhelming, makes it a little bit more approachable. So I think that's such a fun little addition. Overall, I think this is a fantastic palette. Morphe doesn't usually, their eyeshadows don't usually disappoint me, and this one didn't either. I like it very much. Next up, we have a concealer. This is from a brand called Winky Lux. They are available at Ulta and at Target. I picked this one up at Target. This is the Peeper Perfect Under Eye Concealer. I got mine in the shade Fair. This is what she looks like. Winky Lux is I think it's a more expensive drugstore brand. I think they're just a little bit bougie. They are very skincare focused as well. I think they're very similar to Pixi in that regard and in a price point. And it's the Peeper Perfect Under Eye Concealer in the shade Fair. It's what I'm wearing on my under eyes today. You guys know I never come on with my makeup freshly done, so we've had this on for about 5 hours at this point. I think my under eyes are holding up really beautifully. I like this concealer. I like this concealer a lot. This is an $18 concealer. You're getting 10 mils of product in here, which I think is a pretty fair amount of product. It does, however, say that this is a full coverage concealer, and I disagree. I think it's a good solid medium coverage, but definitely not full. I did have to layer this up just a little bit on my under eyes to really take care of any discoloration I had going on down there. So good news, it is very layerable, but it's definitely not a full coverage concealer. However, that fact aside, like I said, I really enjoyed this. It's beautiful. So skin-like. It's got a very hydrating finish to it. It's so nice. It is so very nice. It doesn't look powdery, doesn't look dry. It's not emphasizing the dryness on my under eye. It's not emphasizing any of my texture either. We're going on 5 hours of wear right now, and my under eyes still look really beautiful. They haven't creased or anything like that. I'm very happy with the way that it's wearing. I like the hydrating aspect of this as well. It says, a full coverage under eye concealer for eyes as bright as the days ahead. Now, it says it's got hydrolyzed collagen in it. There's a little bit of skincare in here. There's a little bit of hydration in here. Some pretty good ingredients. I like this. I do think this is definitely worth checking out. However, if you're looking for a full coverage concealer, do not be fooled. It is not full coverage. You could probably build it up to get to that point, but I don't know how much of it you would have to use to get there. But y'all, if you like a good solid medium coverage concealer that's brightening and hydrating, I do think this one is fantastic. The only thing I'm not a giant fan of is it's got a little squeezy tube applicator, so it is a little bit of a mess to apply. I had to put it onto my palette or onto the back of my hand and then apply it with a concealer brush. Don't usually like to do that. I think a doe foot applicator is much easier and it's much cleaner. However, I will deal with it just because you guys see that. The tone isn't bad either. It does lean just a little bit yellow, but it's more on the neutral side than anything else. So it definitely works for my skin tone. And if you guys can pick up just how like gorgeous and glossy and hydrating it looks on the back of my skin, it doesn't dry down to be this thick matte kind of thing. It is so skin-like. It's just pretty. It's really, really pretty. Definitely not full coverage, but super, super gorgeous. I like this. Next up, another complexion product. This is one of the things that I was looking for when I went yesterday. I was very excited to be able to find it in my shade. This is the new e.l.f. Camo Hydrating CC Cream. I have mine in the shade Fair 125C. Y'all, this is nice. This is very nice. I enjoy the original Camo CC cream. However, I do usually have to mix it with something just a little bit more hydrating because it is very matte and it is very heavy and full coverage. This, on the other hand, is nowhere near as full coverage as the original. I was expecting it to be almost as heavy as the original one with all that coverage, things like that. This was surprising, right? So when it comes to the original Camo CC cream, it's got the same amount of SPF in it, all that good stuff, but you don't necessarily smell the SPF. I very much smelt the SPF when I was working with this product today. I smelt it. So if that smell kind of bothers you, stay away from this one. I also noticed right off the bat, it's nowhere near as heavy and it's nowhere near as full coverage as the original is. This one is definitely a little bit lighter all the way around. Same kind of packaging. You've got your little pump and your squeezy tube here. That's what it looks like. This is the shade. It worked pretty well for me. I did have to use a little bit of my blue pigment to kind of cool it down just a little bit more. It does lean just a little bit peachy for me, but it's still very, very pretty. It's got a good amount of coverage to it. I would say it's got a good solid medium kind of coverage depending on how much of it you apply. It is very buildable as well, though I do think that if you try to build it too much, you're going to look heavy and cakey. But y'all, I like this. I like this a lot. Like I said, I enjoy the original. It's not my absolute favorite because it can look a little bit heavy, but this one is so beautiful. Again, it's what I'm wearing on my skin today. It looks so gorgeous and luminous. It does dry down. It doesn't feel sticky or gross. It powdered really well as well. I powdered it down. It didn't look heavy. It didn't look cakey. So really happy about that. Y'all, this is just a win. This is a win. It is a little bit pricey though. It's $15. You're getting a standard amount of product in here. You're getting 1 full fluid ounce of product. It says this is what it comes in. This is the packaging that it comes in. It says full coverage, long lasting, dewy finish, skin loving ingredients, tremella mushroom and hyaluronic acid. Full coverage, color correcting meets a dewy hydrated finish in this multitasking dream cream. Infused with a blend of tremella mushroom, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide and vegan collagen, this hydrating formula plumps skin's appearance plus helps protect with broad spectrum SPF. I like it. I wish it didn't smell quite so much of sunscreen. Like, that's not my absolute favorite, but it does go away pretty quickly, so it's not that awful. Y'all, this is nice. This is really, really nice. So much better for us dry-skinned ladies than the original was. I don't think it's as full coverage, like I said. However, it is beautiful. Sits beautifully on the skin. And again, it's wearing really beautifully as well, which is super, super important. So yeah, I am very, very happy with it. It is not emphasizing any of my texture. It looks really great on my forehead where I've got some really deep lines. Looks nice on my cheeks, on the corners of my mouth where I've got some really deep lines as well. It's not collecting, it's not caking, it's not breaking apart. It's sitting really beautifully on my nose as well. I am very happy with this. This is fantastic. This is definitely one of those products that when I finish it, because I like it enough to know that I'm going to finish this bottle, I'm definitely going to go ahead and repurchase this one. This is an absolute win. I have just a couple of lip products, and then we will jump into the blushes. I want to talk about this e.l.f. lip oil. So this is the e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oil. I got mine in the shade Coral Fixation. This is really pretty. I like it. I don't know what all of the fuss and all the muss of it, like everybody went absolutely gaga over this. I guess it was supposed to be a dupe for the Dior Glow lip oils. Y'all, to me, a lip oil is a lip oil. I definitely do not see the point in going out and spending $20 or $40 or $50 on a lip oil. Like, they all pretty much do the same thing. They all pretty much feel the same way. The only thing that differs is color and packaging, and while I will admit that I really enjoyed both the color and packaging of this product, I just don't get the hype of it. You do get a nice big fat, like, gorgeous doe foot applicator. It feels delicious on the lips. It's glossy and smooth, and it feels hydrating and nourishing, all of that good stuff. But I have this one from Shop Miss A. This is $1.55. Guys, they're almost freaking identical. They feel identical on the lips. I actually prefer this packaging over the e.l.f. one. I just feel like this stuff is so much cuter. You get the little knob on the top. I love the pink and white thing that they've got going on here. You get the same big fat giant doe foot applicator. They feel the same. Let's do a little bit of a swatch comparison, because both of them are so sheer that you're really not getting a ton of pigmentation in either product, right? I will say the e.l.f. has just a little bit more pigment than the Shop Miss A one does, but I mean, even on a swatch, you're really not going to be able to tell. Can you guys see the difference in those products? I know I certainly can't, and I couldn't feel a difference either when I wore them. Y'all, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. There might be better skincare products in this one that probably are not existent in the Shop Miss A one. However, I just don't feel the need to go out and spend 10, 15, 20. It's $1. It's $1.88. It's just as cute. It gives me the same kind of feelings. I just feel like it's unnecessary, y'all. Nice, but unnecessary. Now, if you want to talk about a lip product that actually impressed me, baby, this one right here, and it's $4.99. This is the Essence What the Fake Extreme Plumping Lip Gloss. I have this one in the chili extract version. They also have a cinnamon extract and then a mint one as well. Y'all, this is absolutely freaking delightful. I usually am pretty impervious when it comes to the lip plumping glosses. They really don't do much for me. I don't get the hype for them most of the time. Y'all, I put this bad boy on and I felt it. Still not painful. It wasn't painful to me, not necessarily. Just kind of felt like I ate a slightly spicy kind of chicken wing. But the reason I like this as much as I do is because it stains your lips on top of it. It gave my lips such a really gorgeous, kind of like soft, let's do a little swatch right here. It's got the very, very slightest kind of like pink tint to it. That's what she looks like going on. It does stain your lips. It feels so delightful. Y'all, super glossy, not thick or gross in any way. It doesn't feel stringy or heavy on the lips at all. It feels beautifully hydrating and nourishing. It's got hyaluronic acid in here as well, so it's giving you those skincare benefits. But y'all, when I tell you this gave my lips such a gorgeous, like, rosy pink tone, that really surprised me. I was not expecting this to stain my lips at all, but it certainly did. On top of just this really gorgeous kind of like glossy hydrating feel, it's got a nice amount of stick to it, so it really sticks on the lips. It doesn't migrate, doesn't feather out of my lip line. This is fantastic. For $5, I would repurchase this over and over and over again. So nice. Not usually a big fan of lip plumpers. I feel like most of them are just incredibly overrated and not worth it. but this one was super, super nice. I really, really like this one. Speaking of overhyped freaking lip products, I picked up a couple of the Click Sticks. So these are the NYX Fat Oil Slick Clicks. I can never remember the name. Picked up a couple of different shades. This one is my very favorite though. This is the shade DM Me, y'all. These are, these are delightful. They're expensive. They're $11 a piece, but they're delightful. Very, very easy to apply. They come in a ton of different tones. I like this shade in particular because it is such a pretty cool toned pink. Almost got that lavender kind of undertone to it. Really, really pretty. They feel stunning on the lips. It's more of like a gloss in a stick kind of thing. Very, very soft texture. So definitely don't click too much up because you can't get it back down, first of all. And second of all, you'll just break it and it'll smear all over the place. Very soft texture, but they're just so cushiony and yummy on the lips. Have a nice light fruity kind of scent to them. They're nice. There's not much more to say to it other than it's a very, very nice lipstick. I like the packaging of it. Yeah, it's just nice. At $11, I think the price point could be just a little bit nicer. You're not getting a ton of product in here at all. So there's that. You're probably going to go through this really, really quickly because it's just so thin and it's just like so easy to apply. You just kind of want to keep applying it over and over and over again. It's not very long wearing at all. It does fade off rather quickly, but I just enjoy it. It's nice. It's a nice lip product for 11 bucks. I don't think you'd be unhappy picking it up. I don't think it's anything super spectacular though. And now we move on to the blushes, y'all. I've got a couple of drugstore options, and then I also have a couple of Amazon options. And y'all, I'm really kind of equating Amazon to drugstore price points, so I'm including the Amazon in my drugstore video just because it's, again, same price point. But y'all, Amazon is like one of my very, very favorite places to find dupes, right? Because you can find just about anything on Amazon. And the blush that I have been absolutely obsessed with is that P. Louise blush. You know exactly the one that I'm talking about. It's the super bright pink blush that comes in the tube with a sponge tip applicator, and you see everybody pushed on it and it pops on everybody. I just think it looks so pretty. The color is stunning. I love the delivery method. I think the packaging is really, really cute. So I scoured Amazon. And I found this thing right here. So this is the Young Vision Chic Delight. It says a playful burst of vibrant hue. Again, from Young Vision. Packaging is actually really, really adorable. These go for around $8 a piece. I picked it up in a couple of different shades. Now they have matte versions and then they have shimmery versions. And I picked up a couple of the shimmery shades. Y'all, does this not look exactly like the P. Louise one? Exactly like the P. Louise one. You twist the top off, and this is what it looks like. Same sponge tip applicator, y'all. This is shade 5. Look at that. Look how gorgeous and glowy it is. This one is like a really gorgeous kind of like almost rose gold tone. But you blend it out, and it's so pigmented and so beautiful on the skin. It's a really gorgeous kind of like rosy, neutral, nude kind of blush tone. I've used this multiple different times, have enjoyed it so much. Every single time I've used it, a little bit of this is going to go the very, very longest way. They're incredibly pigmented, but they blend out beautifully. Has a little bit of that like luminescence in there. There's a little bit of that glowy shine, but they dry down completely. The wear time on these is freaking fantastic. Love them so, so much. And then I also picked up the shade number 6. Now this one is a glowy one as well. This one is supposed to have a little bit more of a berry tone to it. So that's what this one looks like. I just think the colors are so pretty. Now they also have like some, they have some more like neutral tones, but they have some pinkier leaning tones, some peachier leaning tones. These are just the two that I decided to pick up. Trust and believe, I will go and I will pick up the remaining shades just because, again, I didn't want to get too many of them and them get here and not be any good. But y'all, I'm telling you, they're so, so beautiful. I would say this one has more of a kind of like peachy undertone, whereas this one has more of like a brownie kind of neutral undertone. Either way, they're both Really, really gorgeous. I love the way that they look on the skin. They look so sheeny and gorgeous, but they don't emphasize texture. They don't move throughout the day. Like, once they dry down, they're there. They're not going anywhere, and they just give such a gorgeous glow to the cheeks. Love these. Love the packaging. They're $8 a piece. They are so, so nice. Next up, for another Amazon blush, I was looking for a dupe for the Rare Beauty blushes, just because, y'all, I just can't justify spending that much money on a blush. I just can't do it, especially not when we have options like this out there that are so much more affordable. So this is the You Can Be liquid blush makeup set. So there are 3 different shades of liquid blush in here. Y'all, when I tell you, these blew me out of the freaking water. These blew my mind. They're so beautiful. Let's talk about the packaging first. I adore the packaging. Y'all, you can't look at this and not instantly know that it was intended to be a dupe for the Rare Beauty blushes. It's that same kind of packaging. I love that these ones have gold hardware on them though. I like gold. I'm a gold girly. But y'all, same kind of like little doe foot applicator. They're beautifully pigmented. This is the shade Cool Pink. Blends out beautifully. Look how pigmented they are. The tiniest bit of this is going to go the very, very longest way. I love the tones. They set down completely. They're matte. There's no shimmer. There's no shine. But they still go on and look incredibly skin-like. Like, they're not powdery. They're not mattifying in any way. They don't dry your skin out. They just go on and look so, so very pretty. I gotta say, these 2 are my favorites. This one in particular. This is the shade Light Orange. Y'all already know how I feel about an orange blush, but this one just kind of like blew my socks off a little bit. I've used this one so many times at this point. Get a great amount of product in here as well. I got all 3 of these for under $9. I got all 3 of these for $6.99. So $7, you get 3 different tubes of liquid blush. The quality is definitely there. They're fantastic. If you're wanting to test out a liquid blush but don't know where to start, don't want to spend a bunch of money on one because you're not certain if you're gonna like, if you're gonna like it, or you don't know how to use it, so you want to test out some new colors, try out an orange blush. They also have a couple of different variations, like a couple different colorways for these 3 sets. So they also have one that is definitely more neutral. It's got more of your like kind of like nudie pink tones in it. I picked up this one because it had orange in it and I was just like, yes, but this one is in the shade Cherry Red, and it is a super vibrant, bright, kind of like orangey red tone that looks so pretty on the skin. Now it definitely has a little bit of that orangey undertone to it, but the minute you blend it out, it just looks like it's like cherry pie. It just looks like you're fresh out of the cold, like super healthy and gorgeous. Oh, I think all 3 of these colors are stunning. They're so, so pretty. And again, you're getting 3 full-sized tubes for $7, which is a fantastic, fantastic price point. And again, it's Amazon, so it's shipped super, super quickly, all that good stuff. So I highly, highly recommend these. I think they're fantastic. If you are a penny pinching Scrooge like I am, these are going to be so perfect for you. And then last but not least, we have these ones right here. This is what everybody and their mama has been talking about here recently. These are the new e.l.f. Camo CC liquid blushes. Now, I picked up 3 different tones. I picked up Suave Mauve, I picked up Coral Crush, and then I also picked up Peach Perfect. So all 3 of these were the only ones available at Ulta when I went. I will say my 2 favorite ones, the only ones I've tried so far, are these ones right here. So Suave Mauve and Coral Crush. These two, Coral Crush is definitely my favorite. It is so, so pretty. I really enjoyed playing with these. Beautifully pigmented. I would say that these feel almost identical to the You Can Be blushes that I picked up off of Amazon. But again, where the Amazon ones, you're getting 3 for $7, you're only getting 1 for $7 of these. I will say I do think you get just a little bit more product in the e.l.f. ones, but that's okay. This is the shade Coral Crush, and then you blend it out. And that's what she looks like. So pigmented. So pigmented. don't really have a scent to them, but y'all, when I tell you the finish that they leave on the skin is so glossy and gorgeous. Like, I wouldn't say that they dry down completely, but they don't stay sticky or tacky. They're not uncomfortable in any way. If you didn't want to set this with powder, you definitely wouldn't have to. Like, your hair is not going to stick to it, all that good stuff. The pigmentation, though, the pigmentation is stunning. So that was the shade Coral Crush. Let's do Suave Mauve really quickly. A little swatcheroo of this one. This shade I really like as well. If you're looking for a cool toned option, this is going to be you all day long. It's got that really gorgeous, almost kind of like berry undertone to it, almost purple undertone to it, that you guys already know I love so much. They're not patchy, they're not splotchy, they just look so gorgeous. They're so pretty. And then last but not least, we have the shade Peach Perfect. And y'all, this is just, oh, it's like so gorgeous and nude. I wonder if this is, I haven't used it yet, so I wonder if it's actually going to show up on my skin tone. Let's swatch it over here. Do a little bit of it right there, and then blend it out. Oh yeah, this is gonna look so beautiful for those days where you just want something incredibly natural. This is gonna be, it's not gonna look like you have anything on your cheeks at all. It's just gonna provide the softest flush of color. I really enjoy a peach blush for a really youthful, it just looks, to me, it just looks so youthful and like underdone, but not underdone in a bad way, just like effortless. That's the word I'm looking for. Effortless. Peach blush is just so youthful and effortless to me. It always looks so nice, especially if you're anywhere close to my skin tone. Just looks so beautiful. Such a natural, effortless color on the skin. All in all, out of today's haul, I don't think I have anything that I don't like. I think I'm pretty much in love with absolutely freaking everything. The drugstore is coming. The drugstore is coming for high-end. I went to Ulta and didn't even venture into the high-end area. I just didn't feel like I needed to. I didn't feel like there was anything that the high-end section had to offer me that I hadn't already found in the drugstore side. Guys, again, at this point in beauty history, there is no reason in the world to go out and spend astronomical prices on makeup when we have all of this available to us for like pennies on the dollar. You know what I mean? Guys, I love you so very much. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope today's video was helpful to you in some small way. As always, I will list everything in the description box below. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, go ahead and leave me a comment. Leave me a comment anyway. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up before you leave. I would really appreciate that as well. Guys, as always, no filters, no fancy lighting. It is just me sitting in front of my camera, playing with some new makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.